Good morning friends, welcome to Raj Malhotra IAS. So guys, here we are about to start. The PDF for today's session has already been uploaded on our Telegram group. You can download the PDF from there. So just give me a minute. Let me assure that we are connected or not. So good number of people have already joined us and we are about to start this session. The PDF has already been uploaded. Okay. So here we have Mohit, Pooja, Ajay, Yamandeep, Anil, Vaibhav, Santosh. Good morning. Good morning everyone. I hope you are doing well in your life. So we all are part of this UPSC journey and we need to take support from all the areas in the sense even from the divine forces. ओके तो भगवान की भी हमें ज़रूरत पड़ती है, अपने खुदा की, अपने रब की, अपने अल्लाह की भी हमें ज़रूरत पड़ती है इस एग्ज़ाम में. चलिए, सो खुशबू, लोहित, सोनी, गुड मॉर्निंग. So let's start the session. Let's see what exactly is there for us. So here we have this thing. This is the message that we have from Bhagavad Gita. Self-control is the mantra of success. Self-control is the mantra of success. Okay. Now, why self-control is important? One thing is that you have to look things into personal capacity. In your personal capacity, why it is important that you have self-control on yourself. कि भी आपका अपने ऊपर self control होना जरूरी क्यों है personal capacity में. And other aspect is that when you are working as a team member, okay, when you are working as a team member, again the self control is really very important. So this is what has been told here. Now you need to understand one thing. Whenever we are going to write answer in GS paper 4 on statement like this, you can directly link it with the emotional intelligence. Okay, you can directly link it with the emotional intelligence. That person who is emotionally intelligent, it means that who has the control on himself, who understand his emotions, will be able to control himself. जो अपने इमोशंस को समझता हो, जानता हो, जो सामने वाले के इमोशंस को समझता हो, जानता हो, who can understand and analyze the emotions of other person by looking at his actions. सामने वाले के एक्शंस को समझ के आप उसके इमोशंस का आइडिया लगाते हो. So doing that, this is how emotional intelligence is important. And here one component is this self-control, analyzing yourself. You should know where to stop. You should know what to speak. You should know how to speak. किसके सामने क्या बात करनी है, कैसे बात करनी है. Those things are also very important. When it comes to personal capacity, it is important that you know your limits. हमें अपनी limits का मालूम होना जरूरी है. We cannot go ahead in an unorganized fashion. जो unorganized life होती है, that is not going to reap you success. वो बिल्कुल भी आपको success नहीं दिला सकती. You have to understand things. You have to plan things. चीजों को plan करके करना जरूरी हो जाता है. And their self-control is a really important entity. Okay, in our personal life, as a team member, as a bureaucrat, you should know the line where to stop. That's the point here. And if you know that, definitely you will be able to achieve the success. This is what this message is being said. Self-control is the mantra of success. This is what Bhagavad Gita is telling us. Okay, so we'll move to the next part. आगे चलते हैं and we will be analyzing the newspaper now. So Sena leadership to meet today, 16 rebel MLAs to be given notice. Okay. So again a political crisis going on in Maharashtra. See, this is what happens when you form the government based on opportunism. Okay, why I am saying this opportunism? Because Shiv Sena formed the government in alliance with बीजेपी. शिवसेना ने सरकार बनाई बीजेपी के साथ अलायंस करके. ओके, एट दैट टाइम शिवसेना वाज पार्ट ऑफ एनडीए. As soon as the elections were over, the government was formed with the help of NCP and Congress. Means earlier they formed the government, थोड़ी दिन सरकार चली, उन्होंने सरकार बनाई, but things didn't work out, and they changed the parties, they changed the affiliation. This is how, when you do things for your opportunity as an opportunist, it will end up in disaster. ठीक है ना? It will end up in disaster. This is the point here. Okay, this is the point here. So RRSS logs, think change some settings in your phone. Okay, change some settings in your phone. In your settings, take the, you can say, video quality to higher picture quality. आपने अपने यहाँ पे अपने फ़ोन में ऑटो पे सेट कर रखा होगा, changes to the higher picture quality, you will get the good quality video. So this is what we need to know here. Other than that, there is nothing much, कुछ खास नहीं है यहाँ पे. Okay, so directly we can move to the editorial section and figure it out what exactly is there for us. Okay, so here we have these editorials. Now this editorial is talking about some development. The left is back in Latin America. Okay, so there are few things that have been told here. ठीक है जी. So कुछ चीजें यहाँ पे बताई हैं इन्होंने. Okay, the left is back in Latin America. This is what they are saying. Now there have been some developments in the past. Some particular developments were taking place in the Latin American countries, and specifically this particular news is related to the development in Colombia, because there the Gustavo Petro's election as a president is seen as a major change. Okay, what's the major change here? So they are saying that left parties are gaining ground, and it is not just the phenomena in Colombia, in other countries as well. लेफ्ट पार्टीज जो है वो वहाँ पे ग्राउंड गेन कर रही हैं. नाउ प्राइमरीली लेफ्ट पार्टीज प्राइमरीली मीन्स द सोशलिस्ट पार्टीज. ओके, socialist parties which talk about giving subsidies, okay, which talks about improving education, health, ये सारी चीजें. ठीक है ना? So we have seen this development, and like it has been a major change, because earlier the conservatives, the right parties, ठीक है ना, they were ruling in those particular areas, those particular countries. But what have changed? The major change have came after the COVID-19, because their leaders, they were not able to handle the COVID. Mismanagement of pandemic led to this development, that people are now putting up their, you can say, support to the left wing leaders, those leaders who are talking about socialist ideas. ठीक है ना, जो equality की बात करते हैं, socialist ideas की बात करते हैं. So those leaders are being chosen as a leader now. So this is a really big change here in the South American, you can say, politics. So ये काफी बड़ा change है यहाँ पे. Okay, so before moving to next part, let me take up this particular, you can say, issue. There has been a major change in the abortion related law in United States. Okay, so we are going to cover that. So Supreme Court overturns the abortion right. Now this is the really very important change here, and this is linked with our, you can say, GS paper 4. So in GS paper 4, the question can be asked regarding the abortion related ethics, whether it's right to carry out abortion or not. So that's the debate here. So we will be picking it up. इसको थोड़ा देखते हैं right now. So this is a significant change here. Okay, now Supreme Court overturns the abortion right, means that after this judgment, individual states will now determine the right. Okay, they will make their own laws, and subsequently they will came out with the clarification that what will be the provision in those particular states regarding the abortion, okay, whether it will be allowed or not. Now they are saying that it is significant curtailment of women's right. Okay, so women right specifically, as you can see in the poster, my body my choice, definitely. So if you are banning the abortion, अगर आप abortion को ban कर रहे हो, तो significantly the woman's right over her body is also impacted, because she should decide whether to continue with the abortion or not the society, not the law. ये सबसे बड़ी जो है एक चीज है यहाँ पे. ओके, सो हेयर सुप्रीम कोर्ट ओवरटर्न्ड द रो वर्सेस वेड जजमेंट. That judgment gave right to have an abortion before the fetus is viable outside the womb. Okay, means primarily if the pregnancy is from 24 to 28 weeks, till that time abortion will be allowed. Now in India also we have such laws available. Okay, हमारे यहाँ पे भी कानून जो है अवेलेबल है, टर्मिनेशन ऑफ प्रेगनेंसी एक्ट, ठीक है ना. एंड दैट ऑल्सो सेज दैट, लाइक दैट ऑल्सो पुट सम कंडीशंस. So if the pregnancy is from 20 to 24 weeks, abortion is also allowed in India. लेकिन उसके लिए आपको you have to get permission from two gynecologists. Okay, two consultation you have to carry out with two doctors, and doctors should have, they have approval in written, then the abortion is allowed. So this is the system that is there in India. ये तो अपने इंडिया में जो सिस्टम है वो चलता है. In US it has been banned. Now state governments are going to decide, they are going to make their own arrangement. Okay, the important point here is this: whether abortion is right or wrong. I am not getting into things. So suppose in GS paper 4 there can be a question regarding the ethics, whether it's right or not. Now before discussing that, let me tell you a significant case of Ireland. Okay, so in Ireland there was a woman of Indian origin named Savita Halalankar. ठीक है जी, Savita Halalankar. She had a pregnancy complexity ड्यू टू सम इश्यूज एंड ऑल. उनकी प्रेगनेंसी के अंदर कुछ कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी थी. ओके, सो इट मीन्स दैट इट वाजंट वायबल टू हैव अ चाइल्ड, और यू कैन से हैव अ प्रेगनेंसी, और कुछ कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी हो गई. बट व्हेन शी वाज टेकन टू द हॉस्पिटल, सो एट दैट टाइम अबॉर्शन वॉज रिक्वायर्ड. अब वहां पे अबॉर्शन जो है वो बिल्कुल करना जरूरी था टू सेव हर लाइफ. Abortion should have been carried out to save her life, but doctors refused to do that because abortion is banned in Ireland. As per the Irish law, abortion is banned. Now this was the scenario, and child and mother, they both lost their life. Child और mother दोनों की जो है लाइफ वहां पे चली गई. सो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड वन थिंग. कानून बनते हैं ह्यूमंस के लिए. ह्यूमंस आर नॉट फॉर लॉ. यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड, लॉज आर फॉर ह्यूमंस. ओके, लॉज आर फॉर ह्यूमंस. ह्यूमंस आर नॉट फॉर लॉज. दिस इज व्हाट यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. So following law should not have been the idea at the cost of human life. Human life should have been given the priority. वहां पे ह्यूमन लाइफ को प्रायोरिटी देना जरूरी था, बट इट वॉजंट डन. इट वॉजंट डन एट दैट टाइम. सो दिस इज हाउ इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट दैट इन सम केसेस यू हैव टू अलाउ द अबॉर्शन, एंड दैट वॉज दैट कॉम्प्लेक्स केस. दैट वॉज दैट कॉम्प्लेक्स केस. ओके, नाउ let's look into the debate here, for and against. Okay, what exactly points that you are going to cover here. अब आप इसमें क्या क्या पॉइंट लिखोगे? that like you support abortion for women, definitely it's like her body her life. Okay, her body her choice, let her decide क्या करना है क्या नहीं करना है. ठीक है ना. Specifically if the pregnancy is unwanted pregnancies, so suppose if there is a rape case, okay, unwanted pregnancy is there. If there is a teen pregnancy, like we know that in India child marriages are still going on and teen pregnancies are also going on. So in that scenario you need to, sometimes the woman might not be mentally prepared for the you can say for the pregnancy, but pregnancy ho jati hai. Okay, so these issues are still existing, that she has the right, she should decide what are the provisions that are there. Okay, other thing is that like you are just banning the abortion बट यू आर नॉट वर्किंग ऑन प्रोवाइडिंग कॉन्ट्रासेप्टिव्स। अगर आप कॉन्ट्रासेप्टिव्स जो है वो अवेलेबल करा दोगे तो फिर अबॉर्शन जो है वो रुक जाएंगे, बिकॉज मेजोरिटी ऑफ दीज अबॉर्शन आर टीन प्रेगनेंसीज। ये टीन टीन प्रेगनेंसीज होती हैं, ठीक है ना, दीज टीन प्रेगनेंसीज, उसकी वजह से अबॉर्शन होता है। सो शी हैज हर करियर इन, यू कैन से इन 9, तो उनका पूरा राइट है वो डिसीजन ले क्या करना है क्या नहीं करना। Now, when we write about the against, कि भी abortion क्यों नहीं होना चाहिए, you need to understand, like it's like a killing a child, okay? It's like a killing a child. Now, there could be another argument that fetus जब तक develop नहीं होता, now fetus is a not a full-fledged, you can say, human, उसके अंदर life नहीं होती है. Fetus doesn't have a life, okay? So some experts are of opinion that till the time fetus is not, you can say, fully developed, ह्यूमन लाइफ उसके अंदर नहीं आएगी, तो टिल दैट टाइम अबॉर्शन शुड बी अलाउड. नाउ दैट्स व्हाई दे हैव केप्ट द लिमिट एज 24 वीक्स. इस हिसाब से ये वीक्स इतनी की लिमिट रखी गई है, बिकॉज इट इज एक्सपेक्टेड दैट बाय दिस टाइम द चाइल्ड डजंट हैव अ लाइफ. ओके, चाइल्ड डजंट हैव अ लाइफ, दैट्स द प्रोविजन. Against, if you are going to write, now killing a child, it means that artificially you are going against the nature. Okay, having a child, pregnancy, it's a natural act and you are somehow trying to intervene in that. That's the problem. Other thing is that, like, this is the point. Now, did we ask that child whether he wants to be or she wants to be aborted? जो बच्चा पेट में क्या उससे किसी ने पूछा, what about his consent or her consent? That is also very critical here. Okay, that is also very critical here. So these points are existing. These points are existing. It's a moral debate. What should be done, what should not be done. But one thing is for sure. Now, if you are restricting the abortion, अगर आप abortion को restrict करते हो, then it will lead to the illegal abortion. Underground clinics will come out. Okay, underground clinics will come out. Now when underground clinics will be there, illegal abortions will still be carried out. In that scenario things might become more dirtier, चीजें और खराब हो जाएंगी, and this is what we don't want. Things become more difficult. That's the point you have to understand. ये चीज भी समझना जरूरी है. So there are both pros and cons and you need to know the both angle of that. इस पूरी डिबेट का दोनों एंगल आपको मालूम होने चाहिए. Illegal clinics निकल के आएंगे and in India it is still going on. Okay, sex selected, gender selected abortions are still happening in this country. We have the, you can say, legal arrangement, but the implementation is poor. Already the illegal, you can say, clinics are flourishing. So if we are completely banning the abortion, then definitely more, you can say, clinics will be there and they somehow will make the whole act unsafe. Right now women can still reach out to a particular hospital and can carry out with the abortion activity, but in that scenario that might not be possible and they might go for unsafe abortion. That's the point here. Okay, and abortion is going to have too much toll on the woman's health. Women की health के ऊपर बहुत असर पड़ता है इस abortion का, बहुत ज़्यादा असर पड़ता है, ठीक है ना, mentally, emotionally, physically, it's a very big burden. So it is not, you can say, something which we can appreciate. So most and the best solution is that you should provide contraceptives to the youth. Okay, it should be available to them. You should provide the sex education to the youth. They should be aware about the choices that they are making. उनके अंदर इतनी awareness होनी चाहिए कि वो क्या choices लेके आ रहे हैं यहाँ पे. So that thing you have to understand. This is what we can do. This is what we can do. Okay, that's the point. So Kavita, slides are clear. Just change the settings in your phone to गुड क्वालिटी. ओके, गुड क्वालिटी. आप गुड क्वालिटी वीडियो पे अपने फोन में सेटिंग चेंज कीजिए. इट इज गोइंग टू बी फाइन. So this is what we have here. Now we'll move to the next editorial that we will be discussing is the advent of absolute chaos in Narega. Now, a new app has been introduced. Okay, a new software has been introduced that is named as National Mobile Monitoring Software. National Mobile Monitoring Software app. Now, what the government is trying to do, they are trying to do introduce this particular app with the Narega workers, okay, that they will be carrying out their attendance activities and other things on that particular app. अब वो attendance वगैरह आपको अपने app पे देनी है, okay. So this is the development that is taking place, but there are some issues in that. What sort of issues are we pointing to? अब इसके अंदर मेन मुद्दे किस बात के आ रहे हैं, क्या इश्यूज आ रहे हैं यहाँ पे, ओके. सी इश्यूज आर लाइक दिस. नाउ फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, टू कैरी आउट दैट यू नीड अ स्मार्टफोन. सबसे पहली चीज तो है आपको चाहिए एक स्मार्टफोन. नाउ एवरीवन इज नॉट एबल टू अफोर्ड दैट स्मार्टफोन, ठीक है ना. सो उस केस के अंदर कोई स्मार्टफोन नहीं आता है, मतलब जिसके पास कोई स्मार्टफोन नहीं है, ही विल नॉट बी एबल टू reap the benefit. Okay, so Kavita, I'll take up your doubt. Just let me complete this editorial. So smartphone जिसके पास नहीं है, they will be not be able to carry out with their attendance activity. Now other thing is that if you look into the Narega, now major beneficiary of this scheme is woman. Woman worker is the major beneficiary, and she was participating in the Narega activity because Narega used to provide the flexibility. भाई फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी प्रोवाइड करती थी नरेगा, दैट देयर वाज नो टाइम, यू कैन से टाइम बाउंड चीज़ें नहीं थी, एंड दे कुड कैरी आउट देयर हाउस होल्ड वर्क एज वेल एज दे कैन वर्क एज अ मनरेगा लेबरर. ओके, तो अपना घर भी संभाल सकती थी एंड एज वेल एज अ लेबर यू कैन कैरी आउट योर वर्क. नाउ दैट वाज द प्रोविजन, that was the provision, but things changed with the introduction of this law, as this law is making, और नॉट दिस लॉ, दिस ऐप इज मेकिंग थिंग्स डिफिकल्ट, क्योंकि अब ऐप से सारी मॉनिटरिंग होगी. दे नीड टू बी प्रेजेंट ऑन द साइट. जब तक दे आर वर्किंग, दे नीड टू बी प्रेजेंट ऑन द साइट. इट मीन्स दैट दे कैन नॉट गो टू देयर होम एनी मोर, एंड दिस इज हाउ दे आर लूजिंग दैट फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी. द मेजर एडवांटेज ऑफ MJ Narega was that it used to provide flexibility, and that's why women used to take part in that. So this is what is taking place right now. And other thing is that now it's a app based thing, means that in rural areas you need to have network. रूरल एरिया में अगर नेटवर्क नहीं होगा तो आपका अटेंडेंस नहीं लगेगा. ओके, नाउ इफ नेटवर्क इज नॉट देयर, योर अटेंडेंस विल नॉट बी काउंटेड. आपका अटेंडेंस काउंट नहीं होगा, द सिस्टम विल नॉट टेक अप योर अटेंडेंस, एंड इफ अटेंडेंस इज नॉट बीइंग काउंटेड, इट्स अ लॉस ऑफ वेज. एक दिन की तनख्वाह चली जाएगी. Now a poor fellow cannot afford to lose a one day wage. That's the reality. ये reality है कि एक दिन की तनख्वाह कोई कैसे lose करेगा. So this is how these issues are existing. So let's look into this. They are, as I told you, government is introducing this national mobile monitoring software. Okay, so it has a lot of problems and it is creating a lot of errors. ये सारी चीजें आ रही हैं. The major idea why this has been introduced, that government has this idea of bringing things within the ambit of e-governance. Okay, that by operating through app you will be able to install more transparency. आप app के through transparency लेके आओगे. Okay, there will be more accountability because human element is going to be reduced. So whatever falsehood used to be there, that will come down. ये government का idea है, ठीक है ना. So they want citizen oversight and increasing transparency. So people can take part in that. People can take look over what type of work is being done, what is the progress on that particular work. जो भी project है, कितना time हुआ है, कैसे हुआ है, कितने laborer लगे हैं, all information is in public domain with this particular app. So idea is really very good. Idea is really very good. We are not saying that we cannot use or we should not use the technology in these things. We should use. But the point here is this. How are we going to implement it? That is going to be a challenge. Major challenge is going to be the implementation. Okay, so वो सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा है हमारे लिए कहीं ना कहीं. Implementation is going to be a major challenge here. Now it is to be deployed by Narega mates. Okay, a local women at the panchayat level who are selected and trained to monitor Narega. This is how Narega mates will also be there. Now they will be trained and selected, and they will be monitoring the Narega website, okay, work site. This is how things are done. The app has a feature of real time photographed geotagging attendance, okay, whosoever will be present, there will be a computerized system to take up the attendance and all. So this will be working. Other than that, like how this particular development is going to affect the work, that is what we have to look into. Now, these apps will be used to monitor the attendance of worker who will be having the fixed work timing. So I told you about this thing that MG Narega was preferred by a woman because of the flexibility it used to provide. As there will be a fixed timings mandate, at that time her household handling will be impacted. She will not be able to handle her house, and there can be a pressure from her family that she needs to quit. तो उस केस में फैमिली की तरफ से जब प्रेशर आएगा दैट शी माइट बी क्विटिंग, definitely it will be a lose. The whole idea of Narega was to provide social help. Social work इसका मेन मोटिव है, and वही यहाँ पे इम्पैक्ट हो रहा है. That's the point. That's the point. So she needs to be present to mark her attendance. Okay. Now, as I told you, higher proportion of women workers are participating in the Narega work. Okay. So she is handling her household. She is working as well. So this is how Narega was a major change. It was a major change maker. ठीक है ना? So ये नरेगा की खासियत थी. Okay. And here that might be lost. That's the point. Now, other challenge that is going to be there will be the implementation of this system. I told you network हर time नहीं होता, तो अगर network नहीं होगा there will be a loss of wage for the worker. Okay, वो अपनी attendance mark नहीं कर पाएगा तो कैसे काम चलेगी यहाँ पे, ठीक है ना? That will be the point. Other thing is that if they are going to hire Narega mate, now it has been observed that they will prefer those individuals who are having smartphone. So there is a gender divide over access to phone. Gender divide है यहाँ पे, major gender divide. So you have female workers, they are having less, you can say less number are having phones as compared to the male counterparts. So they will prefer the male, they will prefer the men who are having the smartphones. This is what is going to happen. ये होने वाला है यहाँ पे, ठीक है ना? And apart from that, errors were reported in the pilot project. So when it was introduced as a pilot project, so there were some errors in the implementation. But in public domain, nothing is available. Public domain में कुछ भी available नहीं है यहाँ पे, ठीक है ना? So this is the problem. This is the problem. The act also claims to increase the citizens' oversight by bringing more transparency, ensuring proper monitoring, etc., etc., etc. But if there is a no physical record that is present कि भी worker है कि नहीं है, and if things are not registered in the app, then definitely how will you monitor it? तो monitoring होगी कैसे? Physical record भी present नहीं है, app is not functional. How will you carry out that oversight? Okay, how will you carry out that oversight? That will be majorly impacted. So this is the point. This is the point that is being put here. Okay. Now, the solution to such type of problem is this: we need to carry out social audits. आपको आज की डेट में citizen centric institutions के through social audit कराना है, where the citizen of the panchayat have a direct role and say in Narega, ठीक है ना? Audits have worked well in the past, allowing the local rights holder to be invested in the decision. So local men, your Gram Sabha, they need to be a participant in that. आपकी ग्राम सभा को उसमें जरूर पार्ट लेना चाहिए. दैट्स रियली वेरी क्रिटिकल. ओके, दैट्स रियली वेरी क्रिटिकल. तो वो काफी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है यहाँ पे, ठीक है ना? सो दैट्स द पॉइंट. दैट्स द पॉइंट हियर. ओके, so we'll move to the next part. Now before that, let me address your doubt. Okay, so Kavita Sharma is asking, sir, in case of rapes, if pregnancy occurs, then what are the provisions? So I would like to say that in India presently no such arrangement is there. The only help that girl can seek will be from the court. She has to move to court in that particular case. Okay, court से permission लेके ही फिर pregnancy terminate होगी. Without that there is no system that is available. She has not been entitled with any law, even in the rape related cases. Okay, सो दिस इज व्हाट यू नीड टू नो, ये चीज मालूम होनी चाहिए, हमारे यहाँ पे ऐसा अरेंजमेंट नहीं है. सो ओनली ऑप्शन इज दिस दैट शी हैज टू मूव टू कोर्ट टू फाइट फॉर हर राइट्स. टू फाइट फॉर हर राइट्स शी हैज टू मूव टू कोर्ट, यही एक ऑप्शन अवेलेबल है. Other than that, there is nothing much. Okay, so let's move to the next part now. Farmers and trade unions hold protest against the Agnipath plan. Okay, so again, things are happening. So in Haryana, I would like to tell you some of the Khap panchayats, they have also intervened in this. Okay, so things might become messy now. चीज़ें और ज़्यादा messy होने वाली हैं इन चीज़ों को लेके. सो देखना होगा कैसे चल रहा है यहाँ पे. ओके, सो व्हाट इज गोइंग टू बी द प्रोग्रेस, बट डेफिनेटली वन थिंग इज फॉर श्योर दैट सी होल्डिंग द कंट्री इज नॉट द सॉल्यूशन. आप देश को रोक रहे हो, डेवलपमेंट को रोक रहे हो, अगेन देयर विल बी प्रोटेस्ट, दे विल बी ऑन द स्ट्रीट्स, दे विल ब्लॉक द हाईवेज एंड इट्स विल बी अ मैसी सिचुएशन. सो इफ थिंग्स गो लाइक दिस, if things go like this, then definitely we cannot develop as a nation. हम एज अ नेशन कभी डेवलप नहीं कर पाएंगे. ओके, सो दिस डिसीजन टू इंट्रोड्यूस द अग्निपथ प्लान, टू इंट्रोड्यूस द टू हायर द अग्निवीर्स, देयर इज अ रैशनल रीजन टू दैट. इसके पीछे रैशनल रीजन है एंड वी नो दैट. सो देयर आर मल्टीपल कमिटीज. सो आई इन द अर्लियर सेशन एज वेल आई टोल्ड यू देयर वाज अरुण सिंह कमेटी. ओके, so Arun Singh committee was there in 1988-89, and then after that you had Kargil War Review Committee. So Kargil War Review Committee, like it was also there in 2003-4. Then you have Shaketkar Committee report. Okay, you have Shaketkar Committee report. Now all these reports highlighted that we need to reduce our, you can say, pension and salary budget. तो सबने ये बोला कि पेंशन और सैलरी को कम करना है, एंड साइमल्टेनियसली दे हैव आल्सो सजेस्टेड दैट वी नीड टू लोअर डाउन द एज ऑफ आवर आर्म्ड फोर्सेस. आपकी आर्म्ड फोर्सेस की जो एज है वो हमें कम करनी जरूरी है, बिकॉज यू हैव टू फॉलो द ग्लोबल ट्रेंड. So it cannot be like this that Indian army or Indian forces which are having the average age of 32, they had to compete with the other armies that are existing which are working on reducing their average age. So US, the average age is 26. Now if they can maintain that, so can we. So can we. This is the point that is there. Already the arrangement has been done in your CAPF. Okay, so 10% reservation has been provided. Centrally armed police force में होगा. The state police as well, some states are coming out with some arrangements. So all these things are existing. So ये सारी चीजें यहाँ पे चल रही हैं. There are some valid issues. Valid issues are to be addressed. Okay, so a valid issue can be one that you cannot create टू सिस्टम्स इन आर्मी. आर्मी के अंदर एक सोल्जर होता है, उसके अंदर दो सिस्टम में नहीं बना सकते आप. आर्म्ड फोर्सेस के अंदर सोल्जर इज अ सोल्जर. ओके, सो यू कैन नॉट कम आउट विद ट्विन सिस्टम देयर, and this is what should not be done, because it is said that the अग्निवीर, there will be a separate insignia. अग्निवीर के लिए अलग से इंसिग्निया होगा. ओके, सो वो हमें नहीं चाहिए यहाँ पे. यू कैन नॉट क्रिएट डिविजन्स विद इन द सिस्टम. ठीक है ना. सो ये चीज़ ज़रूरी है. ठीक है, ये चीज़ यहाँ पे समझनी ज़रूरी है. ओके, सो this is the point you have to understand. We'll move to the next news item. So Tapan Deka to head the intelligence bureau. Okay, so it's a good thing that the appointment has been carried out here. Okay, because you cannot keep the post vacant, because we have seen due to the poor, you can say, record of government appointment, there is a delay in appointment. Multiple times we have seen it. Okay, बहुत बार हमने देखा है कि delay in appointment होता है. So in that scenario when you have delay in appointment, definitely this is what things are not desirable. तो ये चीज़ है जो हमें नहीं पसंद. ठीक है ना. So we'll move to the next part now. आगे चलेंगे, देखते हैं और क्या है यहाँ पे. Okay, so other than that there is nothing much. We'll directly move to the next page. Okay, so Gulf countries support India in prophet controversy. Now things have moved down. चीज़ें थोड़ी ठीक हो गई हैं. Earlier it was a major controversy. See, when we talk about our politicians, they need to be sensitive about the 8 million Indians that are living in these Gulf areas. West Asia के अंदर 8 million Indians रह रहे हैं. Okay, and that area is Muslim populated. So we cannot say anything absurdly or irresponsibly which can create trouble for Indians living in that area. ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं होना चाहिए. And definitely there was some, you can say, reservation that was shown by these West Asian countries. उन्होंने कुछ कुछ तो प्रॉब्लम बताई थी, ठीक है ना। सो दिस इज हाउ थिंग्स वर, अदर देन दैट देर इज नथिंग मच, कुछ खास नहीं यहाँ पे। ओके, सो विल मूव टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट नाउ, आगे चलते हैं। सो हेयर वी हैव दिस न्यूज आइटम नाउ, यूक्रेन फोर्स टू सीड सेवेरोडेंस्क। Okay, so this is how, this is the city. This city already has been captured by the Russians, and now they are moving towards the other adjacent city, that is Lysychansk. Okay, so Severodonetsk has already been captured by the Russians. This is how development is. Now, when we are going to have end to this war? This is the question. When this war will end? Okay, now already the patience of western countries are going down, because we have seen EU plus France. EU means France has been the member of EU, and France, Germany, their leaders are putting pressure on Ukrainians to go for negotiation, कि भी अब negotiation का time आ गया है, like go for that. Okay, Ukrainians are demanding that please provide us more weapons so that we can carry out this war. वो कह रहे हैं कि हमें weapon ला के दे दो, हम इस लड़ाई को और लड़ना चाहते हैं. This is what the scenario is going on right now, and the fundamental question is this: when will this war end? Okay, सबसे मेन सवाल ये है कि ये war खत्म कब होने वाला है, because it is impacting the global economy. We were already in a mess because of COVID-19. The economy was recovering from that, and just after that this event started. So it's a major challenge. It's a major challenge. Now the point is this: whether Ukraine will be ready to carry out negotiations. क्या यूक्रेन तैयार होगा, ये सोचने वाली बात है यहाँ पे. Okay, whether, see, Russia was an aggressor, so Russia is looking for a face saver. रशिया अपने लिए एक फेस सेवर यूज देखना चाहता है, एंड दिस इज व्हाट द पॉइंट इज, दैट दे वांट टू कैप्चर द ईस्टर्न पार्ट, एंड देन दे आर गोइंग टू डिक्लेयर विक्ट्री इन दिस पर्टिकुलर वॉर. दिस इज व्हाट दे वांट. So western countries, they are of this opinion that okay, allow, let's end this war and allow Russians to declare victory. Putin अपनी victory declare करेगा and the situation will be settled. Already in the past, okay, already in the past, the Ukrainian government, they have shown the interest that they were ready to carry out talks on the eastern side. ये eastern side के ऊपर जो भी activity हो रही है, already some separatist movements were going on in that part. They were ready to carry out talks. Here people are also of Russian origin. So this is how things were. This is how things were. So we have to wait and watch. अब इसके बाद क्या होता है, ठीक है ना. बट ऑलरेडी कंट्रीज आर पुटिंग प्रेशर ऑन यूक्रेन दैट नेगोशिएशन शुड स्टार्ट नाउ. ओके, सो दिस इज द डेवलपमेंट, दिस इज द प्रेजेंट डेवलपमेंट. सो विल मूव टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट, आगे चलते हैं, देखते हैं और क्या है यहाँ पे. ओके, सो अदर देन दैट देर इज नथिंग मच, कुछ खास नहीं है यहाँ पे. ओके, सो विल डायरेक्टली मूव टू द इकोनॉमी पेज. लेट्स deal with the economy here. So will guard the rupee stability. This is what Patra is saying. Okay, so this is what you need to understand, because we have seen rupee being depreciated in terms of dollar. Rupee is appearing weak. Now you need to understand one thing. This is not just about rupee. If you look into the other currencies that are there, okay, अगर आप बाकी currencies को देखोगे, you will find that rupee is doing fairly well. Okay, rupee is doing fairly well, because the depreciation that is going on in other currencies is more steeper. बाकी currencies के अंदर और ज़्यादा steeper जो है वो आ रही है, depreciation आ रहा है. So things are bit easy on our side, ठीक है ना. But still RBI is committed to make sure that rupee reaches the stable value. So that's the point. We have $600 billion एज आर रिजर्व. $600 बिलियन का रिजर्व है. सो वी विल बी यूजिंग दैट. उसके बेस पे हम जो है रूपी कैन बी, यू कैन से, स्टेबलाइज्ड. दैट्स द पॉइंट. उसके बेस पे हम रूपी को स्टेबलाइज कर रहे हैं. ओके, सो दिस इज व्हाट द पॉइंट इज. नाउ हाउ थिंग्स विल बी मैनेज्ड बाय आरबीआई. सो इट्स अ डिमांड सप्लाई. इट्स अ डिमांड सप्लाई. सो डिमांड फॉर डॉलर विल इंक्रीज. डॉलर की डिमांड जब इंक्रीज हो जाएगी, इट मीन्स दैट वैल्यू ऑफ रूपी विल गो डाउन. ओके, रूपी की वैल्यू थोड़ी डाउन चली जाएगी. Now if RBI is going to put dollar in the international market, अगर international market में RBI ने dollar डाल दिए, so it means that supply will be there and price of dollar will not increase that much. Relatively the price of dollar will not increase that much. So this is how RBI tries to control the fluctuation in Indian currency's value. So ये सब चलता रहता है. So we'll move to the next part. Oil set for second weekly drop on recession fear. Okay, already there were talks that the whole world is going towards recession. पूरी दुनिया recession की तरफ जा रही है. Demands are not picking up and this and that. But if the recession is likely to be there, then oil prices will fall significantly. Oil prices जरूर गिरेंगे यहाँ पे, and this is what the sign is. Now it can be a relief for currencies like countries like India which are majorly import dependent. हमारे जैसे लोग जो import dependent है, हमारे लिए काफी relief की बात है ये. Okay, so that's the point. Now Gadkari approves draft car safety schemes. Okay, so car safety scheme has been approved. Basically the idea is that they are going to come out with the star rating system for cars. So crash linked safety performance star ratings will be issued to the cars. कौन सी कार की स्टार रेटिंग क्या है, सेफ्टी कौन सी कार में ज्यादा अच्छी है, इट विल बी पुट इन द पब्लिक डोमेन. Okay, it will be put in the public domain so that people can make more informative choices regarding the cars. Definitely people can, the choice for safety will increase. भाई लोग चाहेंगे ना कि उनकी कार सेफ हो जाए, ठीक है ना. सो दैट्स द पॉइंट हियर. सो दिस इज द आइडिया टू मेक द your customer more informed. That's the point here. Okay, so this 5-star rating system under Bharat new car assessment program, it will assign cars between 1 to 5 star. Okay, वो दिया जाएगा यहाँ पे, and there will be 0 star indicating lowest safety standards. So all these assessments is based on the vehicle's performance under 3 category: adult, child occupant protection, safety assist technologies. Okay, so all these things will be done. ये सारी चीजें यहाँ पे करके कैलकुलेट की जाएंगी. So this is what we have in today's newspaper. I hope these sessions are adding value to your preparation. Okay, so SSS is saying that depreciation of rupee help us to export service. IT services are now in boom. Yes, obviously. So see how IT services will be benefited. So there will be a rupee depreciation, value of rupee will go down. It means that आपका एक्सपोर्ट ज़्यादा कॉम्पिटिटिव हो जाएगा. ओके, आपका एक्सपोर्ट ज़्यादा कॉम्पिटिटिव हो जाएगा. एंड वी आर अ मेजर आईटी सर्विसेज एक्सपोर्टर. हम आईटी सर्विसेज को एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं. ओके, सो दिस इज हाउ थिंग्स विल बिकम, यू कैन से, इजी फॉर अस, बिकॉज हेयर इन इंडिया यू हैव टू गिव सैलरीज इन रुपी. आपका एक्सपेंडिचर तो रुपी में है और उधर से अर्निंग जो आ रही है वो डॉलर में आ रही है, ठीक है ना. अर्निंग डॉलर में आ रही है, एक्सपेंडिचर जो है वो रुपी में है. तो दिस इज हाउ दे विल बी बेनिफिटेड. एक्सपोर्ट्स को जरूर यहाँ पे फायदा होता है. ओके, सो दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव फॉर टुडे सेशन. थैंक यू वेरी मच.